Hey, German Videos here. It's almost midnight, Tuesday, June 28th, 2020 Jew, and I want to tell you a story by this campfire here I got going, a campfire story about a campfire. So if you brought some marshmallows, you could heat them up and maybe make s'mores or something. So this campfire story, next to this campfire I got going, it was me and some acquaintance slash friends. I went with one friend who I was good friends with to this camp drink out. Not a cookout. It almost seemed like a tailgate party, not really camping. Tailgate party with tents and a big bonfire out in some national forest in Southern California. Some campground in a national forest. Drove out there with my friend and his wife and or girlfriend at the time. I can't remember. This is over 10 years ago now. Almost everyone was out there drinking too much alcohol. It's just what these people did because some of them were alcoholics, so they liked drinking a lot. Anyways, sitting in front of the fire, we went blah, 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 and one by one everyone went to bed. It was just me and one other guy. His name was Jason. We had known each other a long time. We were friends slash acquaintances with each other. At this time, about 10 years. 10 years ago. Over 10 years ago, 10 years friends slash acquaintance. Like, we never really hung out, just him and myself, but we would see each other in Los Angeles or wherever a lot. We'd be going to concerts and things like that, and we'd always have a chat. And you get where I'm going this, right? You know people like this. You don't really hang out with them, but you see them out when you're out and about, and you have a chat with them. And you're friendly. You'd say, yeah, I guess he's my friend. You'd say that. Sitting down, I was sitting in like a beach chair in front of the bonfire, which had burned down to red hot coals at this point. And I'm looking at these red hot coals with a little flame above it for what could have been 5 minutes or an hour. I lost track of time. It was really late, and I was staring at it, looking at it for a very long time, when I decided, for whatever reason, to look away from the flame. I looked at my friend Jason. It was kind of awkward to sit there and stare at it. Jason was sitting next to me. He was also just sitting there staring at the fire like myself. I saw Jason, and his head was no longer his head. It had morphed. It was a frog's head. Like frog mixed with man. It reminded me a lot of if you did a 3-dimensional printout of Hans Moleman. His head looked like Hans Moleman. The name Moleman. Mole being underground, subterranean animal, and then man. What I said to Jason, it was like uncontrolled, blurted out of my mouth, was, "You look like a frog." And then Jason turned and looked at me in a way where he heard that I said something to him, but did not react to what I said. Just looked at me. No questions, no words, no nothing, just looked at me for like 15 seconds. And I'm looking at him, and he looks like a frog, not saying anything, and he's looking at me, still looking like a frog. And then he looks back at the flame. It's just sitting there, didn't say a word. I realized that I am in some kind of altered state. Staring at a flame for a really long time. I did not know this at the time. I did not know that this is an actual witchy thing, is to stare at a candle flame or staring at flame. I remember Harry Potter. Sirius Black talked to Harry Potter through a flame, through a fire. Witchy stuff happening through a fire. Anyways, I got up at this point, walked around, and the trees were no longer trees. They looked like Tiffany glass lampshades. But it was a toroidal field that went down and into the ground, like curving inwards and down into the ground. It was just him and myself were the last ones awake. Stayed up very, very late. He had been drinking alcohol the whole night, and I did not. And I remember Jason also struggled with alcohol. He was an alcoholic. Which brings me to the topic of this video, which is the frog demons and alcohol.
Bud. Wines. Bud. Wines. Bud. Bud. Wines. Bud. Wines. Bud. Bud. Wines. Bud. Wines. Bud. Wines. Bud. Wines.